Hey folks, just getting the last little bit here ready, and we'll get started in about a minute. Welcome to Progressive Yoga, 75 minutes. So this class, I feel like I'm going to end up doing a lot more of these classes, the progressive yoga classes, going forward. I like to have more of like an all-in-one type of class so that we can get our bodies prepared appropriately and ready to get a little bit spicy and then actually open up different areas of the body. So we are going to start with a little bit of joint mobility, a little bit of therapeutics. Then we're going to kick it up a few notches, get into some vinyasa, get a little bit of a spice in our life. And then we're going to slow the practice right back down again. And we're going to observe some, maybe some yin poses and restorative pose maybe at the end. All right, so get yourself on the mat. Get yourself nice and ready. No props needed for today. All right, all right. We're going to start with seated meditation. So come into a comfortable seat on your mat. With today's meditation, it's actually going to be more of a guided relaxation technique. And we're going to use the colors of the rainbows. All right. So we're going to take the palms down on the thighs, closing the eyes. And then we're going to slowly start a little bit of a muscle relaxation here, getting our bodies prepared. So let's bring our awareness down to the touch points of contact to the ground. The outer edges of the legs, the feet, the calves, the thighs, the glutes. And as we survey these areas, softening every single muscle and allowing the legs and the glutes and all of the base of the body to just melt and sink into the earth. Connecting, rooting, grounding ourselves, preparing us for our practice. Taking some deeper breaths here, taking your time to fill the lungs upon each inhalation and each exhalation. Nice long, deep breaths as you observe the body. And maybe even starting to send your exhalations into areas where you may be finding any sort of tension or engagement, and using your exhalation to release the tension from these areas and allow these areas to soften and release, let go and melt, sinking to the ground, surrendering to gravity. And as you descend the sit bones deeper into the earth, bringing up your full awareness of the length of the spine. And this is where we're going to start to use our colorful breath. So begin to paint your breath. Let's paint your breath the color that makes you the most happiest. The color that when you see it brings you so much joy, and all of your cells of the entire body begin to become excited. Maybe a bright sunny yellow. Maybe a zesty orange, or a fiery red, passionate red. Maybe a cool, calm blue or purple. Maybe a vibrant, luscious green. And all of the colors in between. And as you color your breath, begin to inhale the breath from the base of the earth to the base of the spine, all the way up the entire length of the spine, igniting each vertebra all the way up to the crown of the head. And then as you reach the crown of the head, we're going to exhale the breath all the way out. And then as we begin to inhale, we're going to inhale from the crown of the head all the way down the length of the spine, exhaling the breath at the tailbone. So we're going to keep this breath going here for a few breaths, few rounds. We're going to inhale from the base all the way up the length of the spine, coloring the spine with your breath. And then we're going to exhale from the crown of the head. Once you're done your exhalation, we're going to inhale from the crown of the head all the way down the length of the spine, exhaling towards the earth. Let's take a few more breaths like that. Nourishing the entire length of the spine, nourishing the full trunk of the body with your breath. And as you continue to breathe like this, allowing the shoulders to fall heavily away from the ears, lengthening the neck, growing taller and taller on each inhalation. Finding integrity throughout the body. Softening the facial muscles, softening the expression, allowing the jaw to relax, the tongue is slack at the back of the throat, cheeks are soft, forehead is soft, scalp is heavy. As you find yourself in this stillness, in this state of observation, start to find your intention for today's practice. As you observe all of the colors of the rainbows, all of the different feelings that come, honing in on your intention. Maybe even integrating your intention with a sense of full freedom through the body. All right, let's seal our intention here. We're going to seal intention with a low hum on our exhalation. Let's take one hand over the chest, one hand over the belly. Or take a real big, big, big deep breath here. Nice big inhalation. Then as you exhale, we're going to keep the lips sealed. We're going to send a low vibrational hum throughout the entire body. Inhaling now. And allowing the eyes to flutter open and coming back to our mat with our spines resting down. All right, so we're going to begin today's practice with our spines resting back down on our mat. Knees are bent, feet are planted. We're going to start to take our arms into T or cactus pose. Both are appropriate for today. And you're going to guide your feet. The heels of the feet are going to be closer towards the sit bones. And then you're going to heel toe your feet as wide as the mat. And then we're going to start just to swish the knees from side to side. So as you swish the knees from side to side, you can go as slow or as quickly as you'd like to. Remember that this is your practice. And on each exhalation, taking the knees off to either side of the body. You may even choose to pause off to one side to descend the inner knee closer towards your mat, bringing a little bit more sensation throughout that hip and the lumbar spine. Continuously nourishing the entire length of the spine with your breath for 3, 2, and 1. All right, so now that we release the spine, we're going to strengthen the spine here and open up the front of the body through bridge position. Let's guide the arms alongside the body. Open the fingers nice and wide, feeling the earth beneath the hands, beneath the feet, along the entire length of the arms, press into the ground and the shoulders. And as you take your next inhalation, pressing through the feet, pushing the knees towards the front of the mat, lifting up your hips as high as you possibly can, all the way up towards the sky. A gentle squeeze here through the glutes, lifting the hips up even higher. Drawing the inner thighs towards together, pulling the navel back into towards the spine, lifting the chest toward the chin, relaxing the facial expression here for 3, 2, and 1. As you exhale, begin to melt the entire length of the spine all the way back down to the mat, and we're going to tuck the knees into the chest. Beautiful. We're going to do 2 more of those. Release the feet back down to the ground, arms alongside the body, fingers are open, toes are open nice and wide. Inhale to lift up into bridge. Press, press, press through all 4 limbs with integrity. Slight engagement to support through the glutes and the thighs. For 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, melt that spine all the way back down towards the mat. And then we're going to tuck the knees into the chest. Beautiful. All right, guys, we've got one more. Releasing the feet back down to the ground, arms alongside the body. On the next inhalation, pressing through all four limbs. Inhale, lift. Beautiful. Holding here, keeping a soft expression on your face as you press through the limbs, lifting up the front of the body all the way up towards the sky, opening as you strengthen the back body for 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, melt the spine all the way back down to your mat. Tuck the knees into the chest. Excellent. So we're going to keep those knees tucked into the chest. And then we're going to observe a little bit of funness in Happy Baby. So for some of you who know me, I love doing active Happy Baby because it's just silly and fun and super playful. And you get this really great sense of freedom in the body as well. So drop any inhibitions that you have. We're going to open up the knees nice and wide. Take the feet into the hands. And from here, you can start to kick your feet around if you want to. You can even open up one leg and then the other. You can open up both legs at the same time. Have a little bit of sense of playfulness here as you grab onto your feet, shift, open, move, tipping yourself over to one side to side, stretching your legs, opening up your hips. For 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. From here, we're going to cross the shins over each other. You're going to take a hold of the tops of your feet. Then we're going to roll 3 times to come all the way up into a seated position. So from here, I usually like to scoop the belly in to help me and my momentum to come all the way up on the inhalation. So scoop the belly in, inhale to roll up. Excellent. 2 more times. Last one. Excellent. All right. So now that we're up here, coming into a seated position, we're going to inhale, fingertips all the way up towards the sky. Nice big stretch here. As you exhale, you're going to fold all the way over towards the right. Opening at the left side of the body, descending at sit bone deep into the ground. Breathing all the way through the left side. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale all the way up. We're painting a rainbow all the way across. Exhale all the way over towards the left. Beautiful. Opening up the right side of the body, guiding your breath through all of the sensations, keeping that chest open, shifting that right shoulder back for 3, 2, and 1. All right, let's continue to paint rainbows all the way overhead. Inhale up. Exhale to the right. Excellent. Nice big deep breaths here. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. If you want, you can even close your eyes as you're painting your rainbow all the way overhead, lengthening the sides of the body. You can even keep the color of your breath and guiding that colorful breath all the way through the sensations, releasing tension for 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. All right, let's inhale, reach up to the sky all the way up here. And then as you exhale, we're going to twist. We're going to wring out the spine. So let's go over towards the right side. You're going to take your left hand on your right knee. The right hand's going to land on the ground behind you. Inhale, lift and lengthen through the crown of the head. Open up the chest, slide those shoulders back. As you exhale, you're going to take a deeper twist towards the right side, taking your gaze past the right shoulder. Can you even scoop your belly in even more, wringing out your spine just like a wet towel? Beautiful. All right, let's take one more breath here. Inhale all the way back through center. And exhale all the way towards the left. Nourishing that spine with that breath. Inhale, reach the crown, shoulders back, chest is open. Exhale, scoop the belly in, navel to spine, gaze past the left shoulder. All right, guys, one more beautiful, colorful breath down the spine before we shift back to center. Beautiful. Inhale all the way back to center. And as we exhale, we're going to take the arms all the way back down to the ground. right in line with the hips. All right, perfect. So from here, we're going to extend the right leg out to the side. You're going to press up through the heel, tuck the toes in towards you. Your right hand can either come in front of your leg, over your leg, or on the outside of the leg. That part really doesn't matter, whichever is the most comfortable for you. And then you're going to sink your left sit bone into the ground. And as you inhale, we're going to paint another rainbow overhead. We're going to inhale, sweep that left arm all the way across the sky. And then as you exhale, you're going to fold all the way over towards the right. Beautiful. Let's do that 2 more times before we actually stay in the fold here. Inhale, sweep all the way back. Painting your rainbows. Exhale, fold over. Inhale up. Exhale to fold, and we're going to stay in this fold for a couple of breaths. Beautiful. Excellent. So from here, if trying to take a hold of your foot, kind of like what's happening to me, is making your shoulders curl here, you're going to shift that left shoulder back, open up your chest, and then fold a little bit deeper. As long as that left sit bone keeps pressing into the ground, you are A-okay. All right, let's take 1 more breath here. Inhale to rise. Exhale to switch. All right, let's tuck that right heel in, left heel out. You're going to press out through that heel, tuck the toes in. You're going to drop your left hand wherever it's comfortable, either on your leg or off to either sides. Sink that right sit bone down into the ground. Let's paint our 3 rainbows all the way overhead. Inhale to paint the sky all the way through the right fingertips. Exhale to fold. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale up. It's kind of hard not to keep a smile on your face when thinking about painting rainbows all the way overhead, and exhale to fold. All right, that was number 3. So we're going to stay here in our fold, keeping your chest nice and open. So you're going to slide that right shoulder back. Then you're going to take another exhalation to fold a little bit deeper, sinking that right sit bone deep into the ground, keeping that left foot flexed. 4, 3, guiding your breath throughout the entire right side of the body. 4, 2, and 1. Inhale all the way back up. Beautiful. As you exhale, we're going to open up both legs. All right. So we're going to come into a little bit of a forward fold. So I'm going to give you guys a couple of different modifications. So we're going to start from a small forward fold to a big forward fold. So you can go wherever you want to go for today's practice. So if you'd like to observe a little tiny bit of a forward fold here to get a little bit of sensation throughout the back of the glutes and the inner hips. You're going to press out through your heels, tuck the toes in. Then from here, you're going to tilt the pelvis forward, lead with the heart here. So there's not much of a fold here, and your spine is nice and straight. Now, if this is suffice for you, which a lot of us are going to feel tons of sensation, and that's going to be enough, breathe here. If you'd like to increase the level of sensations, walk yourself forward. All right, guys, let's observe some deep breaths here. For 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Let's inhale to rise, walking yourself all the way back toward the body. Let us take our legs back in towards each other. So your feet are going to be planted about hip-width distance apart. Knees are bent. The spine is going to be nice and straight. So you're going to have a couple of different options here. Option A, if you'd like a little tiny bit of support, not a heck of a lot, just a little bit, it'll be suffice. You may choose to take your hands right behind your thighs for a bit of support here. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going into, actually, let's do our cat-cow first. So let's all take our hands back here. We're going to start to release the spine. As you inhale, you're going to shift the shoulders back, lift the heart up towards the sky, and your gaze. So here, notice that our spine is in an extension, just like in cow. As you exhale, you're going to tuck the tailbone under, scoop the belly in, and curl the spine all the way back, tucking your chin into your chest into cat position. All right, so let's keep moving in and out of cat-cow. As you inhale, open up your heart, shift your shoulders back, lift up to the sky, and then exhale to scoop and roll back. You notice that you're really grabbing onto your thighs here. Maybe just a slight, gentle touch the back of the thighs. Inhale, open. And then exhale to scoop and roll back. So not only continue to breathe and shift in and out of cat and cow. So as we continue to breathe here, we're really going to start to activate the navel, activate the abdominal muscles as you're releasing the spine for 4, 3, 2, nice big deep breaths. All right, guys, last one. Inhale, rise, open up. Exhale, tuck and curl as much as you can. Really pull that navel all the way back. Curl the spine, chin to chest. Inhale to come all the way back up. All right, excellent. So from here, we're going to do something a little bit different. So now this is the time where if you'd like to spice up your life a smidgen, you can take your arms along parallel towards the earth with the palms facing each other. You still have the option here to take your hands behind your thighs. Thumbs are up, gaze is forward. You're going to inhale, reach to the crown. As you exhale, you're going to tuck the tailbone under, scoop the belly in, roll the spine as far back as you can without coming all the way down to the ground. Once you find that you might start to shake here a little bit, you're going to inhale, lift all the way back up, and then continue. Exhale down. Notice that when you inhale up, some of us might want to spring up nice and fast. Try to slow it down and actually have that sense of control throughout the front line, throughout the front body. Keeping those abs tucked in. Let's do about 3 more. Exhale, roll back. 2. See if you can really slow it down. Synchronize your breath with your movement. All right, so your abdominal muscles should be a little bit fired up now, a little bit turned on. And last one here, exhale, scoop and roll, nice and slow. How low can you go? You inhale all the way back up. Beautiful. And then from here, we're going to exhale, cross the legs. You're going to take your hands right out front. And you're going to uncross the legs behind you and come back into tabletop position. All right, in tabletop position, you're going to have 2 different choices here, depending on the level of your practice for today. So you have the option of continue doing a couple of cat counts here. Or if you'd like to, we're going to do a little bit of a variation of cat-cow once again. So I really like this variation here because it actually does prepare us to go into our vinyasas. And this variation starts off, let's tuck the toes under. Make sure that the wrists are underneath the shoulders and the knees are underneath the hips. And you're going to start off with your sit bones at your heels. And from here, you're going to notice that there might be a little bit of traction here with your hands. So you're going to use that traction to push your mat away from you. And as you push your mat away from you, you can really curl that spine up towards the sky, descending your sit bones deeper towards your heels, opening up the whole back body, just like you would in cat position. And then from here, as you begin to inhale, you're going to scoop the belly in, hugging the spine, shifting yourself forward. And then as you begin to move past the wrists, you're going to descend the hips towards the ground, open up your chest forward, and lift your gaze. Exhale, sit bones back. So as you notice, it's kind of like the motion of a wave. Inhale forward. Your head comes up last. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. All right, let's do two more. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Last one, inhale forward. Exhale back. Perfect. From here, we're going to send the heels all the way back onto the mat, stretching out our legs into downward facing dog. In our downward facing dog, we're going to take our pinkies towards the edges of the mat. Open up your fingers super wide, pressing through the heels of the palms and lengths of the fingers until the center of the palms begin to lift away from your mat. From here, you're going to push the mat away from you, just like we did before, taking your shoulders away from the ears and allowing your head to fall heavy. Nice and heavy here, lengthening your neck. Then you're going to lift the eyes of the sit bones up towards the sky as you descend the heels of the feet closer towards the earth. Let's take a couple big, deep breaths here. Let's inhale through the base of the palms all the way up the length of the spine, and exhale down the legs all the way through the base of the heels. Let's take a few deep breaths like that. Inhaling the rainbow through the palms of the hands, all the way up the back body, down, exhaling the rainbow down the legs, through the heels, back down to the earth. One more breath. Softening the knees, scooping the belly in, taking your gaze forward. We're going to inhale, hop or step towards the front of your mat, flat back, lift and lengthen, reaching through the crown of the head. Then as you exhale, softening the knees, coming into your forward fold as you allow the spine to lengthen. From here, we're going to inhale, paint the sun all the way up, all the way overhead. Exhale, hands through heart center, bringing that sunshine all the way towards the heart. Excellent. Okay, so before we start our sunsets, our vinyasa portion, we're going to do this thing called breath of joy. It's probably one of my favorite ways to open up the hips in a very chilled and relaxed manner. So you're going to take your feet slightly wider than hip width distance apart, and we're going to practice the breath of joy. So it's two different parts. It's a breath and movement. So let's do the breath part first. It's 3 zips of inhalation with one big releasing exhalation. And we're going to also move, all right? So we're going to inhale, swing the arms forward. Inhale, swing the arms to the side. Inhale, back out to the front. And then as you begin your exhalation, you're going to bend your knees and throw it all the way up behind you. Everything that you don't need, all the way out. And you're going to inhale all the way back through center. All right, let's start this. 1, 2, 3. Nice big breath. You can even pick up the pace. Really get into that breath of joy. Through 3, 2, and 3. Really swing your arms around. Excellent. Inhale up. And then exhale to release. All right, let's get back towards the front of the mat. If you're not already there, feet hip width distance apart, or having your toes touching and your heels slightly apart. So both positions of feet are correct. It just really all depends on what feels the most comfortable in your body. So we're going to start off with our sun salutations for today's practice. Starting off our vinyasa portion. We're going to inhale, paint the sun all the way up. As you exhale, you're going to pivot from the hips, lead with the heart into your forward fold. You're going to allow the knees to bend so much so that you can rest your hands down on the ground at the base of your forward fold. As you inhale, you have 2 options. You can either come onto your fingertips, reaching the crown of the head forward, or you can take the palms of the hands over the shins and reach the crown forward here, guiding the shoulders away from the ears into your flat back, Uttanasana. From here, as you exhale, you're going to bend the knees once again, plant your hands, fingers are wide, and you're going to step your feet all the way back into plank position. So every time we take plank in any class, you have the option of taking your knees down. From here, you're going to make sure that the space between the shoulder blades is slightly lifted. You're going to scoop the belly in, shoulders over wrists. And then as you exhale, you're going to slowly lower yourself all the way down. Untucking the toes as you come down. We're going to inhale, upward facing dog. Reach through the crown of the head. Press through the tops of the feet. Exhale, shift the sit bones back. You're going to flip the feet back over into downward facing dog. So that was one round of sun salutations A. We're going to do 2 more, and then we're going to get into the vinyasa portion. So let's take 3 deep breaths here, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Last breath. Bending the knees, navel to spine, gaze to the front. Inhale, hop, or step towards the front of your mat, flat back. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, rise, paint the sun on the way up, or a rainbow, whichever one you want. Exhale, the leg of the sun all the way back into the heart, through heart center, Samastitihi. All right, let's do 2 more, slightly picking up the pace on each one. Inhale, paint the sun. Exhale, pivot from the hips and lead with the heart, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. So while we're in downward facing dog for our 4 to 5 breaths, if your heels are off the mat, you have a couple of different options here, and if your knees are bent. So if this is what you look like for today, try stepping your feet a little bit wider, even as wide as your mat, maybe even wider than your mat, and see what feels good in your body. Everyone's downward facing dog is going to look a little bit different. You can even step your hands a little bit wider if you wanted to. You can walk your feet a little bit closer towards your hands, or maybe even further away. It's always important that within any yoga practice that we find the modifications that are appropriate for our bodies and our practice from day to day, not necessarily what we might be seeing in someone else's body. It's this way. This is why it's so important to pay attention to sensations and our breath. All right, guys, let's bend the knees, navel to spine, gaze to the front. Inhale, step or hop towards the front of your mat, flat back. And exhale to forward fold. Inhale, paint the rainbow all the way up. Exhale through heart center. Last, sun salutation A. Inhale, paint the rainbow. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, guys. Excellent. All right, let's get a little bit of heat in our bodies. We're gonna start observing some twists. Woo! Energizing, beautiful twists. Let's take 2 more deep breaths here in our downward facing dog. Nice revitalizing breaths, lengthening the back of the body, lengthening the back of the legs. For 3, 2, And one. Inhale, right leg all the way up towards the sky, reaching up towards the sun. As you exhale, you're going to tuck the knee into the chest, roll that spine up towards the sky. On the next inhalation, you're going to step that right foot forward. And then from here, we're going to exhale, descend to the left knee, untuck the left toes. Make sure that that right knee is stacked right over that ankle. We're going to inhale, paint the rainbow all the way overhead with the fingertips. As we exhale, we're going to guide the hands towards heart center as you begin to twist towards the right side. So as you twist towards the right side here, then you're going to take your elbow towards the outer edge of the right knee, and then you're going to press that right shoulder back and keep your gaze past the right shoulder here. So from here, you're going to make sure that both sides are nice and lifted and reach through the crown. Then take a deeper twist here for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, reach all the way back up through center. Beautiful. Exhale, hands come back down to the ground. We're going to tuck the left toes under, send the left heel back, step the right foot back, and then we're going to observe our first vinyasa for today's practice. So vinyasa is 3 poses, starting with plank. When you land in plank, you're going to exhale, lower yourself down to the ground, untuck the toes, inhale, upward facing dog, exhale, downward facing dog. So vinyasa is those 3 poses right after each other. And if at any point in time you want to take a rest instead of moving, you can go into child's pose. Bending your knees, untucking your feet, and then descending your sit bones towards your heels with either your arms out, stretched out in front of you, or your arms alongside the legs. Taking a few deep breaths there. Let's take one more breath in downward facing dog before switching sides. Nice big deep inhale. Nice big deep exhale. Inhale, left leg up to the sky. Exhale, knee into chest. Curl that spine. Inhale, left foot steps forward. Exhale to descend the knee. Untuck the toes. Inhale, paint the rainbow all the way overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center as you twist towards the right, guiding that right elbow towards the outskirts of that left knee. Sliding the left shoulder back, hands pressing in towards each other as you take a look towards the space behind you. All right, 1, 2, 3. Inhale, all the way back through center. Exhale, hands come back down. Tuck the right toes under, send the right heel back. Step back plank, vinyasa, or child's pose. Whew. All right, let's take 3 more deep breaths here. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Beautiful. That last exhalation, we're going to inhale, right leg up to the sky. You're going to point the toes, you're going to bend the knee, and then you're going to exhale, slide the toes towards the left side of the body. Make sure that you're pressing through all 3 limbs evenly on your mat as you shift the right toes towards the left side. Can you lift that knee up even higher? And see if you can see your toes underneath your left armpit. If you can't, that's totally fine. All right, 3, 2, 1. As you inhale, we're going to square the hips towards the mat. And then you're going to step that right foot all the way forward into high lunge. Shift your gaze to the space right in front of your mat. And then from here, we're going to scoop the belly in, press back through that left heel. We're going to inhale, paint the rainbow all the way up overhead with the fingertips. Inhale to rise, nice and slow. Beautiful. Now we're going to exhale, hands through heart center. Take your twist once again over toward the right side. Press back through that left heel. Keep that back leg nice and strong. That right knee is tracking right over that ankle. Reaching through the crown of the head. Shifting those shoulders back. Keeping the chest open. 3. Firing up that right leg. 2 and 1. Inhale. Reach all the way up towards the sky. Exhale, hands come back down to the ground, step back plank, vinyasa, or child's pose. One big deep breath here before transitioning to the other side. Beautiful. Inhale, left leg up to the sky. Point the toes, bend the knee. Exhale, slide those toes over towards the right. Can you lift that knee up even higher? Give it a little bit of a squeeze through that glute. You take a peek underneath your right armpit. See if you can see your toes. If not, that's okay. If you can, that's okay too. Lifting that knee for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, scoop belly in, square the hips towards the mat. Step the left foot forward into your high lunge. Tracking the knee over the ankle, pressing back through the right heel. Scoop the belly in. Inhale, paint the rainbow all the way overhead. Exhale, hands through heart center, twist toward the left. A strong supporting back leg, pressing through that heel, nice and active. Chest is open. 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, reach all the way up towards the sky. Woo. And exhale, hands come back down toward the ground, step back plank, flowing through vinyasa or hanging out in child's pose. Beautiful. All right. So we're going to give our twists a little bit of a break. We're going to start strengthening those legs through our lunges and through chair. And then we're going to slide back into our twists once again afterwards. All right, so let's take 3 deep breaths here. And then after that, we've got some yin and some restorative, some relaxation. All right, one more breath. All right. So from here, we're gonna take a look at the front of the mat. We're gonna inhale, step the right foot forward. Lift the gaze. Hold here for 1 breath. Exhale, step the left foot forward and fold over the legs. Bending the knees greatly, descending your sit bones way back into space. Take your seat into your throne. Open up your toesies nice and wide, pressing through the feet. You're going to descend the majority of your weight into your heels to protect your knees. And from here, we're going to paint the rainbow all the way overhead as you peel your chest and your belly off your thighs. Push your ankles away from each other. Gaze is forward. Jaw is relaxed. 4, 3. Arms are alongside the ears. 2. And 1. Exhale. Fold all the way back down. Inhale, flat back. This time, you're going to exhale, step the right foot back into high lunge. For 1 breath, shift your gaze forward. Step back plank, flowing through vinyasa or child's pose. We're going to do 1 more of those with the legs switched. Inhale, lift. Exhale, back. All right, guys, 1 breath in downward facing dog. This time, instead of stepping the right foot forward, we're going to step the left foot forward. Inhale, step the left foot forward. Press back through the right heel, runner's lunge for 3 breaths this time. Keeping your gaze on the ground right past your mat here so that you can keep your neck nice and long. 1 more breath. Beautiful. Step the right foot forward, and as you exhale, come into your forward fold. Beautiful. Bend the knees. Send the sit bones all the way back into space, taking your chair. You're going to inhale, paint the rainbow all the way overhead, arms alongside the ears, crown is lifted. Your sit bones are back into your chair. Beautiful. For 3, navel to spine. 2, arms alongside the ears. And 3, exhale, forward fold. We're almost done. All right, inhale, flat back. Exhale, step the left foot back, high lunge. 3 breaths, taking your gaze forward. Strong supporting back leg here. 1 more breath. All right, descend those hands back down to the ground, step back, plank, flowing through vinyasa or child's pose. We're almost done with our vinyasa portion. We've got 1 more flow to go. And we're gonna rest our butts back onto the ground. Stretch it out and release the tension. So for our last one, we're going to be taking our twist from chair, transitioning into a twisted high lunge, because that's fun. And we need a little bit of balancing in our lives anyway. So let's take 1 more breath in our downward facing dog. Softening the knees here, scooping the belly in, gazes forward, inhale to hop or step towards the front of your mat, flat back. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, paint the rainbow all the way overhead. Nice and colorful. Exhale, hands through heart center, Samasthiti. Okay, so we're gonna go in through our transition from twisted chair to twisted high lunge on the right side. All right, so from here. So in a lot of classes, you're gonna hear whenever you take a twisted chair to keep your knees square. So what happens with that is your twist starts from the mid-spine, not the base of the spine. So when you come into your twist and chair, let's bend the knees right away. Take the sit bones all the way back. You're gonna start to slide that right knee back slightly. Once you slide that right knee back slightly, notice that the hips go off kilter. That means that your twist is gonna start at the base of the spine. Now we're going to guide the hands towards heart center. We're going to take that the left elbow, I was going to say shoulder, that might be a little intense. The left elbow towards the outer edge of that right knee. Hands are in prayer position, chest is open, right shoulder's back. All right, let's do 1 more breath here before we transition into high lunge. 1 breath. Scoop that belly in. Get nice and heavy through that right foot, and you're either going to slide the left toes forward or you're going to step the left foot, back. You're going to slide the left toes back or you're going to step that left foot back into your high lunge. Excellent. Take your gaze all the way back for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale all the way back through center. Exhale, hands come back down to the ground. Step back plank, vinyasa, or child's pose to transition to the other side. All right, let's take 1 breath in, downward facing dog. Knees bent, navel to spine, gaze in front. Inhale, hop or step towards the front of your mat, flat back. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, rise, paint the sun overhead. or rainbow. Exhale, hands to heart center. Perfect. From here, we're going to bend the knees, slide the sit bones all the way back. Coming into your chair here. You're going to slide that left knee back slightly, and you're going to come into your twist, adding your right elbow to the outer edge of your left knee. Left shoulder is back, chest is open. We're going to stay here for 3, 2, and 1. Scoop the belly in. Either slide or step the right foot all the way back. Woo! Careful with your balance. So it's always important to keep your gaze at one point when making transition instead of switching your gaze. All right, for 3. Pressing back through that right heel. 2 and 1. Inhale all the way back through center, reaching up to the sky. Excellent. Exhale, hands come back down to the earth, step back plank. Vinyasa. Last one. And when we're all done that last vinyasa, we're all going to meet in child's pose, descending your knees, untucking your toes, and releasing your head down. So if you're anything like me, I like to be incredibly comfortable during my yoga practices, and I like to take some big, deep breaths. So in order to take bigger breaths, I like to separate my legs and allow the belly and the chest to rest right in between the space. And you can really get a sense of how expansive each inhalation is as you take some deeper breaths here, filling up the ribs, filling up the belly. Slowing everything down. Take one more breath here. Nice, long, deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. We're slowly going to walk our hands back towards the body. We're going to tilt one hip down, swing your legs forward, scooch your sit bones towards your heels. We're going to rest the spine all the way back down onto the mat. Perfect. All right, so from here, we're going to start off with a little bit of yin. So we're going to hold twists on either side of the body for about 3 minutes each side. So with yin, we really pay a lot of attention to essentially holding space for ourselves as we observe sensations without reacting. So this is the part of our portion for today where we really start to get a little bit more mindful. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the right side. We're going to slide that left leg all the way down. We're going to tuck that right knee into the chest. You're going to take your left hand on the outer edge of the right knee. You're going to extend your right arm nice and wide. And then as you exhale, you're going to shift that leg all the way across the body into a twist, taking your gaze past the right shoulder. You can keep your right knee anchored here by maintaining your left palm on the outer edge. And from here, you're going to take a few deep breaths. I'm going to keep a very close eye on the time here. You can hold this for about 3 minutes. You're going to guide that colorful breath of yours all the way down the entire length of the spine. Observing sensations. Guiding your breath through any area where you may be feeling any sort of tension whatsoever, and using your exhalation to release the tension from these areas, softening, letting go, relaxing. Bringing a lot of awareness into the framework of the body. So we've got about 1 minute left here. These big deep breaths, allowing every muscle surrounding your shoulders, your spine, and your hips to soften. Guiding your awareness throughout every part of the body, every fiber of your being, softening every single muscle, disengaging and relaxing. Each exhalation allowing a little bit of a deeper twist to occur as you surrender the body to gravity. Notice how the body begins to cool down with this practice. Beautiful. Let's take the last 3 deep breaths here. Last breath. And then inhale back to center. And as you exhale, we're going to point those toes all the way up towards the sky. On your inhalation, you're going to press the right heel up towards the sky. You're going to tuck the toes towards you. You're going to walk your hands up the back side of your leg, avoiding your joint here, avoiding the knee. Okay, so from here, both feet are fully flexed, pressing through the heels. You're going to, on each exhalation, you're going to guide that leg a little bit closer towards your gaze, keeping your hips anchored. Guide your breath throughout the entire back side of the leg. And now when I count down from 3, on our inhalation, we're going to guide our gaze even closer towards the shin, peeling off our shoulders and our head right off the ground, taking our gaze a little bit closer towards the leg in 3, 2, getting ready, scoop the belly in, and 1. Hold here for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release that leg all the way back down to the ground. And from here, we're just going to observe the body. Notice the difference within the sensations between the left and the right side. Notice if the right side feels a little bit lighter or heavier. Noticing the major differences between that little bit of a stretch here. And then we're going to get over towards the left side. All right, let's take the legs in back towards each other. Take the left knee into the chest, right hand on the outer edge of the left knee, left arm is wide, exhale, leg across the body. Shift your gaze past the left shoulder, allowing that left shoulder to land heavily on the ground. As you begin to relax the body, releasing to gravity, surrendering to gravity. Got about 2 minutes left here, guys. Nice big deep breaths up and down the spine. Relaxing and releasing all the muscles. Guiding your breath through the sensations. Last minute here, actually less than a minute now. And taking the last 3 deep breaths here. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Beautiful. Inhale. Left knee back through center. Exhale, toes to sky. Inhale, flex the feet. Both feet are fully flexed, pressing through the heels, tucking the toes under, walking the left to the left hand. Both of the hands behind the left leg. All right. So from here, you're going to ground your hips down to the ground. You're going to glue them down onto your mat. Navel to spine on each exhalation, guiding that leg a little bit closer towards your gaze. And each exhale. And you know what we're going to do when I count down from 3. We're going to inhale, forehead to knee, or, as close as you can get, as you can take it. All right, in 3, keep that foot nice and flexed. Open up the backside of that left leg. 2, scoop that belly in, and 1. Hold here for 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, release that leg all the way back down to the ground. Beautiful. Okay, so from here, we're going to very passively open the hips. We're going to guide the feet, the pads of the feet together. Knees are nice and wide. Guide the heels closer towards the sit bones. Guide the arms alongside the body here. Taking a few very deep breaths. Allow the knees to fall heavy. Imagine as though someone's pouring sand all the way over your legs. They're just getting heavier and heavier and heavier, draping the knees towards the earth, opening up those inner hips, releasing the lower spine. For 3, 2, and 1. So notice that here in butterfly pose, the base of the spine begins to lift. So that's a lumbar spine. It might lift a little bit from your mat. So we're going to take our spine into an opposite direction here. We're going to inhale, knees come in together. Exhale, tuck the knees into the chest. Now we're taking our spine into flexion, releasing the spine here. For 3, rolling from side to side. 2, and 1. From here, we're going to roll all the way back up into a seated position here to observe a deep forward fold. So from here, if your knees begin to lift in your forward fold, or if you'd like to even relax a little bit deeper into your forward fold, you can roll up your mat to support the space right underneath the knees as much as you'd like. Or if you even have a pillow or a bolster handy, you can use that as well. So pretty much the biggest difference here is if you have a little bit of support behind the knees, the more support you have behind the knees, you take it from a yin pose to a restorative pose. So the less amount of sensations is going to be a bit more restorative, a bit more relaxing, a bit more lengthening throughout the spine. The less support that you have underneath the knees, you're going to have more sensations, and it's going to be lengthening the spine as well as the hamstrings as well. So choose what you feel like doing to help close your practice today. And from here, if you're going to go the casual route, the more restorative route with something underneath your knees here, you're going to open up your legs as wide as your hips, and you're just going to very casually relax the spine over. So even for a restorative pose here, this is actually still a little bit too low. You can really get some nice height underneath here with some pillows or towels or whatever it is that you'd like to use. So for those of us who want to stay within yin and have a little bit more of an intense sensations, let's go into our deep forward fold. So from here, think about internally rotating the inner thighs towards each other. So from here, you might want to scoot your sit bones back. You're going to press through the heels, tuck the toes in towards you, and we're going to inhale, reach up towards the sky. And then as you exhale, you're going to scoop that belly in as you come into your forward fold. So we're going to stay in this forward fold for a couple of minutes. And every so often, we're going to go through 2 deep adjustments to actually get us a little bit further into our forward fold here. So this first forward fold is a little bit more relaxed. So you're just going to concentrate on lengthening the spine over the legs. Your hands can come on the ground, either side to either side of the legs, or on the legs, or even on the feet. That part doesn't matter. Take one more breath here. And we're going to go through our first adjustment. So from here, you're going to start to shift your gaze towards your toes. Feet are still fully flexed. Wherever your hands are, you're going to take your fingertips down to the ground alongside the legs. Then you're going to inhale, reach through the crown of the head, lengthen the spine. You're going to walk your hands as much forward as you can. And then from here, you're going to exhale, take another forward fold. All right, 30 seconds left before our final adjustment here. All right, keeping your hands exactly where they are, keeping your gaze, now switching rather your gaze back towards your toes. You're going to inhale, reach to the crown of the head, lift your heart towards the feet, and then exhale, coming even to a deeper forward fold as you walk your hands forward. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Inhale to lift. And then as you exhale, bending the knees and crossing. Excellent. Okay, guys. So I'm going to give you a couple of different options of how to close today's practice. One option, which I'm going to do first, is a restorative pose using your mat, actually, as a prop. So if you wanted any additional padding for your spine, or for your, not for your spine, but rather for your sit bones and your legs, please take the time now to either grab yourself a blanket or a towel if you want the additional padding. If not, we're just going to roll up our mat. So roll up your mat so it's not terribly tight, so you have a little bit of squish. So a casual roll. So casually roll up your mat. We're going to use our mat as a bolster. So once you have your mat nice and rolled, you're going to use your mat lengthwise here. So we just did some pretty deep forward folds, lengthening the spine. This position that we're going to get into provides a little bit of an extension here. So your sit bones are going to be on the floor, and you're going to relax your spine down over your rolled up mat here. And the mat is going to come right in between your shoulder blades. You're going to open up your arms nice and wide. So this is what it's going to look like. So your arms, if you have more space than I do, you can either take your arms into T position or cactus. This is a great way to use your mat as a prop to actually help open up your chest, relieve your spine. Additionally, too, if you find that the edge of your mat is a bit too rough, you can even put a little blanket or a towel right on the edge here so that you have a little bit more support. The other thing that you can do is only roll your mat about halfway, resting your spine on one half the mat, and then you can use that roll to support underneath your knees if you wanted to finish off here in a butterfly pose, opening up your hips. Of course, lastly, you have the option of going into Shavasana, which is corpse pose, lying straight on the ground. Or you can come into a seated position and meditate for the next 3 minutes. We'll do 5 minutes since it was a little bit of a longer class. Getting yourself comfortable, finding the most appropriate position for your body today. And then as you settle into your pose, whichever one you chose, allowing yourself to take some very deep breaths. On each exhalation, allowing all of the muscles to release, surrender, let go, and sink into the ground. Softening the entire body part by part, piece by piece, from the base of the feet to the crown of the head, from the crown of the head to the base of the feet, and back again. Surveying every single fiber of your being, and sending that beautiful, colorful breath throughout every cell. So for today's practice, I'd like to guide you into a little bit of a guided relaxation using a very real moment in your life, an experience that you've had already. I invite you to go back to a time in your life, an event, where you felt the most amount of joy, where your cells were so excited, butterflies in your belly and a happy and open heart, a smile that even made your cheeks hurt, smiling so much joy, so much happiness. It could be any time in your life from when you were a small child right up until this present moment. Maybe with a friend, maybe with a family member, maybe even by yourself, maybe within nature, up top of a mountain, in a forest or a jungle, or in the sandbox with your friends as a child. Choosing that memory that brings you the most amount of joy, and stepping into it, immersing yourself in the memory, diving into it. Turn up the colors, turn up the sound, turn up the feeling. What can you see? What can you sense? What can you smell? What can you feel? What can you taste? Remember this feeling. Allow yourselves to remember. And know that there are so many more events in your life that are waiting for you, that will produce the same amount of joy, if not more. Explosive joy, radiating joy, waiting for you to experience them. And maybe even integrating that same joy with your intention for today's practice. As you take the last 3 deep breaths here in your resting position. Tucking your knees into your chest and rolling over towards the right side of the body. Planting the left hand in front of the heart on the earth. And then as you inhale, rise it to a seated position to close today's practice with the sound of Om Shanti, 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 which means peace, peace, peace. Guiding your hands towards heart center and Anjali Mudra, prayer position in front of the heart. Let us inhale to Om now. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, 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 peace. May every single being on this entire planet find real peace, real harmony. And may all beings be happy, be happy, be happy. Namaste. I hope that you all have a fantastic week. Happy Monday. And just a little tiny bit of an announcement. Park yoga. Join me if you want to do a park thing. Social distancing is mandatory. I will also have some free sterile gloves and free sterile masks, as well as some hand sanitizers and mat sprays available. So the date is going to be July 1st at 7 p.m. at Withrow Park. So if you don't know where Withrow Park is, it is right south of Chester Station. And class is going to start at 7. I will be there for 6:30. And it's going to be a little bit of a gentle class. It's going to be more on the hatha side of things. I'm also going to have some extra blocks, some extra straps, some extra TheraBands in case if you guys need some. This is a free class. Donations are obviously welcome. Pay what you can. No one is going to be turned away. So if that is your shtick, I will see you at 7 p.m. for Sunset Yoga this Wednesday at Withrow Park. Many blessings to you all. Mwah. Lots of love. Bye for now.